Welcome, everybody, to our first ever player conversation where the goal is real talk about real topics. And I am very, very grateful today to be joined by Kiki Picket, who is a Bay FC defender, most importantly, a national champion with the Stanford Cardinal, and a native Californian from Santa Barbara. So, welcome, Kiki.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we're coming at you during the month of February in Black History Month. And so I guess my first question to you is, how do you feel about Black History Month? Do we like it? Do we feel some kind of way about it? I feel like I sometimes have mixed feelings about it. So I'm kind of curious, what's your thoughts on Black History Month in general?
Well, I hope we just don't get 1 month where people try to gain their knowledge of Black history. But I think it's very important for people to be aware of what's going on or just our history in general.
Yeah,
Because I'm still learning. There's a lot of things that I still don't know. So that's um, kind of like what I love about it. And it's, I already have my books here kind of thing, but like just continue to read history or just current novels that Black authors create, which I love. So just learning the history and learning what could possibly blossom into.
totally, totally. I agree with that. Tell me, my brother lives in Santa Barbara, so not the most diverse place that you'll find in California. What was it like growing up there?
Um, yes, there was only probably like three of us in the classes, or just in my class in general. So that was kind of difficult. We could kind of go deeper into this. I felt as though my beauty standard was very different. And I felt as though I wasn't really up to caliber based on the color of my skin, my hair, because everyone else, gravitated towards the majority um, there. And so I was just like questioning, what is it?
Yeah.
Like, is it me? And it wasn't until I got to college, and I still not the most diverse place, but I still got more diversity than I did in Santa Barbara. So I think it's just like being exposed to the entirety of the world to realize that your uniqueness is actually special and you don't have to really compare yourself to everyone else, especially in a small town like mine.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that. So for me, my mom's white, my dad's black, right? So, but most of my life I identified as black because that's the way the world saw me, right?
Mhm.
Now I feel like you can actually mark two or more box, like two or more races you can mark on a form now. But I feel like when I was in middle school, I feel like I kind of was angry at my parents because I couldn't really articulate that I didn't fit or I didn't know where I fit in the world. And they were the only like way that was the only way I knew to be mad, right? Like I didn't know how to express it. So I just took it out on them. Because I didn't see people who looked like me, to your point, in magazines or on television. And I feel like it's starting to change more now. But for sure, when I was growing up, I didn't know where to fit in the world, really. And it wasn't until, yeah, probably college where I started to figure that out too. So,
Yeah, I had a few intersections crossing because I'm also Mexican as well. So I was just like, not black enough, not Mexican enough. Do I fit in? Being, born and raised in a predominantly white culture, I'm like, what is going on? You're just trying to find yourself. And like you said, you gotta kind of explore in order to figure that out.
yeah. So, like, when you look in the mirror, what do you identify or what do you see? Not what do you think the world sees, but like, what do you see on the inside and the outside when you look at yourself?
Um, I'm very mixed, and I have a lot of different. I like to say flavor. I have a lot of different spices and flavor in my pantry, so
Yeah.
those are all demonstrated through my life, and so I might be I might identify more in this situation than others. But yeah, I see myself. I love looking at the mirror. Let's just say that.
Yeah. It's so funny. I'm going to read this poem to you in a second. But I ask you this question because I got asked this question a lot, and I'm hoping that maybe you didn't get asked this question as much as I did. But how many times in your life do you feel like you got the question, if at all, like, oh, what are you? Did you get that question?
A lot,
Me too.
but I think it's very apparent what I am in certain aspects, but no one ever guessed that I'm Mexican.
Interesting.
So unless you are a part of that Mexican culture, because I do have like some features where they're like, huh.
Totally. I think that's too. It's like when you're mixed, you kind of notice other mixed people and you're like, oh yeah. Um, but if you're not, you might not be exposed to it. So I want to read you this poem because this this was a friend of mine from college. She was an English major at Santa Clara. And when she read this poem, she read it at like a poetry slam or something. And I was like, oh my God, this is me. Like, this was like one of the first times where I ever felt like it just really hit me and resonated with me. So I'm going to read it to you and then you could tell me what you think. Okay.
Okay.
It's called A Reply to Those Three Little Words by Melina Johnson. Got to give her some love and credit. Um, okay. From the serious look on his face, I thought he was going to ask me something important. But when he leaned over and muttered those three little words that I had heard 1,000 times before, I wanted to laugh out loud. In his ignorance and his innocence, he asked, "What are you?" What am I? For the first time, my lips froze, but as always, my mind raced. I knew what he wanted to hear, that my father is black, my mother is white. He wanted me to categorize myself: mulatto, biracial, half breed, light skin. I'm not exactly sure what the box checkers like to call it these days. He wanted to know what I am, but I am not the color of my skin. From the tips of my delicate fingers to the bottoms of my sturdy feet, I am a woman. For ancestors who did not understand the words or set eyes on collegiate walls, I am pride. To the smooth, wet tiles of my shower walls, I am a diva of rhythm and blues, maybe like you too. When those I love need it the most, I am laughter. And for those who were like me, but are now weary and ready to rest, I am the future. Ask me what I am, and I might say I am strength, I am devotion, I am a lover, a dreamer, a daughter, a sister, a friend. I'm just like great grandma's down home casserole, a blend of everything good I can get my hungry hands on, plus a little bit of salt and a whole lot of pepper. But before I could answer his question out loud, he answered it himself. And I smiled because he thought he had figured me out. And he said, "You're mixed, huh?" And shoulders wide, chin high, I replied, "Yes, yes, I am." So I feel like when I heard that for the first time, that kind of stuck with me. Does anything, like, do you feel any kind of way about that when you hear that? Does that resonate with you and kind of the experience you've had growing up?
Yeah, well, I like the first line. She's like, I thought they were gonna ask me something important,
Yeah.
but I guess not. Because
Yeah.
to be honest,
Right?
it's not that important
Yeah.
unless you want to put us in a box. But I think as humans, we are very strict on patterns. Like we want to put people or things in boxes, categories in order to help us identify. Because so I kind of get that situation. We all have boxes that we can tick, but like you said, there's multiple boxes. Um, and I like how they reference multiple categories. Like in this category, I'm this. For this, I am also this. I can be many different things in different environments. You just have to kind of formulate that environment in order to showcase myself. So
Yeah.
that was very interesting.
I love it. Did you have any who were your role models growing up? Black, white, any other color of the rainbow? Who are the role models you looked up to?
Um, it's kind of hard because the role models I think would differ mainly in the sports realm, and it would be like, ah, they're doing the sport too. Tiger Woods, uh, Venus and Serena Williams. Just seeing them out there, you're just like, oh, we can play that sport,
Yeah.
we're able to succeed and be successful in this kind of environment that I've never seen, our kind of color of our skin involved in. And so it's just like, I want to watch. I want to see what we can do. And hopefully I also do that to young girls as well, because they'll be like, wow, we actually can do this.
Yeah. I mean, what was that like, whether it's at Stanford or, previously in the NWSL, girls, boys, kids coming up to you, wanting your autograph, saying, "Oh my goodness, I love you, Kiki. I want to be just like you." What does that feel like?
I think kids like that because I'm like the same size as them. So they're a little more excited to come up to me and be like, "You mean I can do that and still be as tall or as short?" So I think they just get excited because I look like them. Just with the size and I'm like taking pictures with them, and even parents are like, "Oh my God, see, you're the same size as her, or you're taller than her."
Yeah,
Uh, so I think there's just a comparison to be like, if she can do it, you can do it.
totally.
Whatever they need to compare themselves with me, that's okay. Because
Yeah,
like I said, tick a lot of boxes, and I'm in a lot of categories here. Uh, so whatever you need, we have it all.
for sure. How officially, how tall are you? 5'1"?
I said, so.
Got it.
Yeah, at least 5 foot short.
Okay. 5 feet. You broke the 5 foot barrier though. So,
We'll go like this.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Small but mighty for sure. When you play, that's what I loved watching about you among many things. Let's see. What are some of the barriers you feel like you have had to overcome? I mean, maybe is our bias for size, right? But what do you feel like some of the barriers that you've had to overcome, whether it is, being a black person, being a woman, being, mixed, and of Mexican descent too? Anything you feel like you've had to work hard to get past to end up where you are?
I think like I was always taught that I'm gonna have to work twice or three times as harder than anybody else, because I might get overlooked, with my size or my ethnicity. So that was always like embedded into my behavior. Like if you see me out on the training field, I'm 110% with you. Like I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna like why would I waste my minutes with you? Like I'm gonna make sure my life is 100% energized. Like you're gonna get everything of me. But I think that could also deter me in my mental block, as if like if I know I can't give 100% or like I'm used to giving this and I don't quite make it, then I'm like, what have I done? So like that kind of like mental hump of like if I know I couldn't give it 100% or I'm thinking too much about something, um, that might be my biggest hurdle.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, the mental side of the game. The big
Hmm.
one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Um, what are you most proud of?
Um, I think it has to be representation, not only through my skin color, but my family. Because I am the first person to play like professionally, first person to like do all these things, and not only am I, showcasing myself, my mother's side, my father's side, friends and family connected to one another. It's kind of like it's their journey as well. So like whenever I go back home, like we were in Santa Barbara for preseason, I was able to talk to my uncles, my aunts, my cousins, go to their games, and they're like excited that I'm there watching their games. So I think just representing myself through them, because it's not just me going through this journey, it's everyone behind me. Um, and I think they make me proud and like want to demonstrate that to everyone.
Yeah. Does that is that empowering or does that feel like pressure sometimes? Like, oh my gosh, I have to make it. I have to succeed. I have to do more. I have to achieve. Or is it like, no, look at where I come from. Like, look at who I'm rocking with me. Like, this is awesome. Or maybe it's both. I don't know.
I think for them, they're definitely like just proud of like what I've done thus far. So it's empowering. So they're like, if you keep going, like, oh my gosh, this is great. But in my head, I'm like, I'm not done yet. I have so much more to go. So I'm like, you might think this is great. Good. That's my standard. So I'm gonna keep going and I'm gonna keep showing my family, my friends, the world that there's still more Kiki to come.
Yeah. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Uh, just enjoy it. Enjoy your time, enjoy your minutes, and don't waste your day. And there's so much time in the world, so try not to think about what other people, or don't let other people's words carry through your day. Because you could still like listen, but don't let that ruin just the day, the week, the month. Um, yeah, enjoy yourself.
And this is related, maybe slightly different though, but do you feel like there's like one piece of advice that you've gotten, or maybe a few pieces of advice that's really stuck with you and you feel like has served you well in your young, your very few years here on Earth?
Hmm. Advice. I've gotten a lot. So I can't really pinpoint. Um, yeah, I can't really
There's not anything that
pinpoint.
sticks out. Oh, good.
No, not right now.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh,
Have
good.
you gotten any?
Um, I mean, I think the thing my dad would always tell me is like you got to put more on the table than you take off, right? And so give, give, give. And then also too, like look for the helpers in life. Like you want to be a helper yourself, but also look for the other helpers. Those are the people you want to surround yourself by. So those are the two that stick with me when I think about my family and my parents. I'm sure there's plenty more out there, but those are the ones that stick with me, I guess.
I guess based off of that, it reminds me, don't don't be afraid to ask questions. Like I know I don't know. And there's a lot of people in their field that are experts or just know little bits and pieces. So like if you ask questions, you'll get answers and you'll feel more connected with everyone else. Um, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Last question, before we wrap it up, but anything about you that um maybe folks in the Bay or, folks in the soccer community don't know that you would want to share? And you certainly don't have to share anything if nothing comes to mind, but like what's something we don't know about Kiki that we should know?
I like music. I
Ooh.
used
Oh,
I
now we have
used
to go deep on this. Oh no.
I used to be on a dance team at Stanford called DV8. So if anybody has adult hip hop classes around, I'd love to join.
Okay. So I'm just gonna say you should talk to our friend Brandy Chastain because I heard she does a hip hop dance like fitness class on Wednesdays.
Oh,
And it's like throwback. So this is like before your time. So they play like 80s and 90s music, but I know you know what that is. And so you
yeah,
can really
I know
rack
some
it.
of those.
Yeah. It was from before your era, but I'm sure you can appreciate that era. So, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's like thrown out into the universe. People help Kiki find her tribe where she can get her dancing on for sure. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Kiki, for your time. Thank you for being here with us at BFC. We are so excited to continue to cheer you on. And mostly, thank you for the conversation. It's been fun and it's been real.
No, thank you so much.
You got it. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye.